We're in Liverpool now and the area of Walton. It's a prime location for first-time buyers and young professionals looking to commute to Liverpool city centre. Walton is home to Everton's football stadium, Goodison Park, and the lot we're here to see is just around the corner.
These streets are lined with lovely Victorian bay-windowed terraced homes, a real feature here in Walton. Now, here's the one we're here to see. It's a two-bed mid-terrace, which came with a guide price of £30,000. Rather handsome from the outside. I like the blue windows, however, everything just needs a good lick of paint. First up, you have a wee vestibule area, somewhere to put your coats, then through to really quite a spacious reception area. It's not, well, the ceilings aren't as high as I would have expected, perhaps in a Victorian terrace, but what you do have are some original Victorian features, which are pretty much intact. So you have your cornice, and that allows us to see that actually this was always one big room, not two smaller rooms, because the cornicing goes right around. And then you have the picture rail below that. You also have a ceiling rose, spoilt for choice, really. And you have an original, it looks like an original fireplace. So that's all good. But what you also have is an awful lot of rubbish bags. On the plus side, somebody's bagged a lot of the rubbish up for you, but you'd still need a skip or two to get rid of all that lot. What's also fantastic is that somebody's put in some patio doors leading out to your small courtyard, so really opening things up as much as you can and giving a dual aspect, light at both ends, considering you don't have much room outdoors. Through to the kitchen, and behind me there's a door which leads down to a cellar, which always gets me interested, but I've been advised not to go down there. So let's stick with the kitchen for now. It's quite small, but big enough to have everything you need. The units, the appliances, they're all really, really tired. And you could do with taking everything out, stripping everything back and starting again. Also, what requires urgent attention is the corner of the ceiling really has a lot of black mould, water's been coming in. It could be an external issue coming from outside, or it might be that the bathroom's upstairs, there's been a leak. Whatever it is, you want to get that investigated.
Yes, this property is in need of some major TLC. But if you look past the bags of rubbish, this is a spacious ground floor with character. But what about the rest of the house?
Upstairs, straight ahead, you have a terrifically sized bathroom. But as I look above the door, you've also got quite a worrying crack. Almost from the top at the ceiling all the way down. I mean, you could almost get a pencil in there and it just gets bigger and bigger. So you want to get that investigated and hope that if it is subsidence, it's historic. Then into the bathroom itself, and what a terrific size. You could have plenty of room for a standalone bath. Get a new bathroom suite in here. It could be transformative. But the size, I mean, I've seen smaller double bedrooms, a lot smaller. Up a step and into the first of your two bedrooms. Oh, you've got another worrying crack which you need to look at, and actually it's along the same wall as the other one. As size goes, it's not bad at all. It's a good size double. Yet more rubbish, but again, it's been bagged up for you, which is a good start. Let's see what else we've got. Into the second bedroom. Now, this really is a terrific size. You also have a kind of ornate mirror taking up a lot of the wall, and it looks like it's glued onto the wall. Interesting. Also, get more cracks seen to, and there are some damp issues under that handsome bay window, some black mould. You want to get everything checked out so you know exactly what it is you're dealing with. But given the size of this room, given the size of your bathroom, it does have me thinking you could have 3 good-sized double bedrooms upstairs, and that would be terrific. However, it would mean that your current bathroom goes downstairs, which is not something we normally advise on Hammer. It would also mean that your current kitchen would move into the living dining area, but there's loads of options. Or you could just stick with what you have and make it a lot better. Restore the features and make this a gorgeous 2-bed Victorian terraced home.
There's also potentially room for a small extension at the rear of the property, as there is some outdoor space, which could mean that you could keep a separate kitchen. But this would be subject to all the relevant permissions. And if not, then having outside space is always a bonus. But what does a local estate agent think of this lot with a guide price of $30,000? We invited one along to get their thoughts and valuations.
First impression is that the property needs a lot of work. There's a lot of items to be removed. It needs refurbishment from top to bottom. That's new kitchen, new bathroom, new decor and new flooring. There's some cracks in the property that need addressing, so I'd make sure someone has a look at that to make sure it's not a continual issue, no movement in the property. And also there appears to have been quite a big leak from the bathroom into the kitchen. From a positive side, it's a really good size and there's a nice rear yard.
And what about those all-important figures? If this house was renovated throughout, what sorts of valuations could a potential buyer expect?
Once the property is finished to a good standard, I would recommend a sales price of £95,000 and a rental valuation of £575 per calendar month.
There are a couple of fundamental issues to deal with here before you move on, like the cracks in the walls, like the damp. But once you've done that, you can move on to the fun stuff, because what you've got yourself here is a lovely Victorian terraced home with original features that you can restore and make beautiful again. Let's find out who agreed when it went to auction.
This lot was part of a remote auction with bids taking place online.
Yours.
With a purchase price of $68,000, the successful bidder was Mustafa, who's a property developer with plenty of experience and a large rental portfolio. Anne Martell met up with him to find out his plans for this one.
Mustafa, pleased to meet you.
Pleased to meet you too.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You've got yourself a house that's full of bin bags.
We need a big skip to get rid of them all.
You really do. But
Yes.
on the plus side, somebody's at least put them in bags for you.
That's great, yes.
Yeah.
It's a help.
It is a help. Before we get on to this property, tell me, where are you from?
I'm originally from Iraq, Baghdad. I left Iraq in 1999. I arrived in the UK in 1999 as asylum seeker. I arrived in Manchester, lived in Manchester and worked in Manchester.
Was it always Manchester that you lived in?
It's always Manchester. I love Manchester.
Yeah.
Yeah. I started in year 2000 to work for a property developer. He was my uncle. And I went to work for a estate agent just to gain a little bit more experience. Then I established a property company and we bought property.
Why this one, Mustafa? What did you like about this one?
I mean, the prices in Manchester are gone sky high and the yield is not as good as before. So I asked one of my employees just to look for property in Liverpool. And
So
yes.
this property, what's the plan here, Mustafa?
As you can see, the property needs a lot of doing. We will do lots of work. Some of it, I'm not going to say it now. I already decided what to do, but when you come back, you will be surprised.
Oh, you tease. What do you mean you're not going to tell me? Why are you not going to tell me?
I always work silent. As soon as I go to property, I know what I'm doing and I do to my plan.
You have seen Hammer before.
Many times.
So you know, I come in and I say, hey, what are you doing with the house? And you say, oh, I'm going to convert it into a 3-bed, or I'm going to move the bathroom down here. But you're not going to tell me.
No, we're not going to tell you.
Ooh, punchy. Right, I'm going to ask some questions, though.
Yes.
So the cracks, there are quite a few cracks in this house. Have you had the cracks checked out? Have you talked to somebody about them? Have they given you any feedback?
Not yet.
No.
I didn't have chance.
Okay,
Yep.
So what if he says, actually, there's a bit of movement here, it's ongoing?
If it's need doing, we have to do it, no matter what. But my experience doesn't show that it's a going movement. I think it's just settlement. You know, we're gonna look at every single thing wrong in the property. Normally, I don't cut corners. Mm-hmm. I repair properly because my uncle taught me, build for yourself.
There are some nice features, Victorian features.
I love it.
Great.
Yes, I keep it and love it.
There are a few damp issues, like the kitchen at the back of the house. The corner of the ceiling is really damp. Is that the bathroom above?
Yeah, this is the bathroom above, definitely. We'll check for leaks, whatever, and that will be repaired. The ceiling will be replaced, skimmed.
Yeah.
Yeah, come back, brilliant.
The bay window at the front of the house in the bedroom?
Yes, I noticed that, and even I noticed from outside as well, there is some damp in there. Seems like there is a leak, and ongoing leak, so we're going to look at it and we'll repair it.
But you're still not going to tell me anything about the layout of this house, are you?
I'm going to change the kitchen. I'm going to tell you another tip as well. The kitchen will be changed. The boiler will be changed. Definitely new bathroom.
Yeah.
Yes.
And do you have a team that you use, plasters, electricians who come in ready to start?
They are ready to start. Tomorrow we've got 2 skips coming and we've got a crew of 5 people. They will go into the house and we will start from tomorrow.
So you mean business?
Business.
And you want to get this turned around and you want to rent it out?
100%, yes.
To add to your portfolio?
Yep.
So how long, Mustafa, is this going to take?
Hoping 6 weeks. We may go to 8 weeks.
And what's your budget, Mustafa?
I'm setting a budget for this house 12 to 15 max.
12 to 15 max?
I don't think so I will exceed 15.
But I don't know if I'm going to come back to a 2-bed, a 3-bed.
You will see when you come next time.
This is the first time I've spoken to an owner who knows exactly what he's going to do, but you're not telling me.
I think you'll be surprised. Next time when you come, you will see what the surprise is.
OK, right. I'm glad you're going to do it quickly. 6 to 8 weeks. I can't wait to find out what you do. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
So, the big question is, what is Mustafa going to do? He knows, he just won't tell us. We could come back to anything. What will it be? Go grab yourself a cup of tea and you can find out later in the show. The property renovation path is often more bumpy than smooth.
Yes, even the most straightforward renovation projects can encounter problems along the way.
Will our other 2 buyers have finished on time? Let's find out.
Time now to head back to Clapham in South London, where back in September 2019, I visited this grand mid-terraced house. And it's safe to say, I was impressed. This is looking really good. Oh my golly gosh. Stairs up to all the floors that way. And then just this glorious design through into this huge living area with the bay windows, new double glazing, which is really good, nice high ceilings. It's just immediately giving off that sense of that sort of, I don't know, old-fashioned, glorious London house. The ground floor featured a good-sized kitchen, whilst the first floor housed 2 bedrooms, a bathroom and a reception room, all added to the appeal of this beautiful property. And it's even got a chandelier, for goodness sake. Look at this. Oh, it's really getting to me, this house, in a good way. The second floor had another 3 bedrooms, with the top floor housing a large and luxurious bathroom. The person who bought this huge, over 2,000 square foot property for 1.2 million was Shiluin, a PhD finance student who had been on the show before. With his property developing experience, he knew exactly what he was going to do with this lot.
Already submit the planning permission for 3 flats.
3 flats?
Yeah, so it's a 1, 2, and 3 bedroom flat. So 3 flats.
He had an original budget of up to 400,000 and was hoping the work would be complete in a year. But when we returned 21 months later, in June 2021, Shiluin had finished 2 of the 3 flats. The first floor had been transformed into a modern 1-bed, with the upper 2 floors turned into a 2-bedroom flat with a bathroom and an ensuite. But the work on the ground floor was still underway. Back now to Walton in Liverpool, where Martel saw a 2-bed Victorian mid-terrace with a guide price of 30,000. It was spacious and had character, but there were a few nasty surprises.
What requires urgent attention is the corner of the ceiling really has a lot of black mould, water has been coming in. Whatever it is, you want to get that investigated.
You know you might surprise yourself.
And upstairs, the nasty surprises continued.
You've also got quite a worrying crack, almost from the top at the ceiling all the way down. I mean, you could almost get a pencil in there and it just gets bigger and bigger. So you want to get that investigated.
But with so much space, there was potential to create an additional bedroom by replacing the large bathroom. And someone who was up to the challenge was experienced property developer Mustafa, who bought this two-bed mid-terrace for $68,000. But when Martel met up with him, Mustafa kept his cards close to his chest.
We will do lots of work. Some of it, I'm not going to say it now. I already decided what to do, but when you come back, you will be surprised.
You have seen Hammer before.
Many times.
So you know, I come in and I say, hey, what are you doing with the house? But you're not going to tell me.
No, we're not going to tell you.
Ooh, punchy. I don't know if I'm going to come back to a two-bed, a three-bed.
You will see when you come next time.
So the big question was, what was Mustafa's plan for the layout? But what we did know was that he intended to clear out the rubbish and investigate the signs of damp and the large cracks upstairs. He would install a new bathroom and kitchen and planned to keep the Victorian features. He had a budget of $12,000 to $15,000 and hoped the work would be complete in only 6 weeks.
So let go and surprise yourself.
We're back and Mustafa's finished the project bang on time.
My team worked very hard. I mean, we work 6 days a week. Some of the days, about maybe 4 days, the guys stayed till 10 o'clock. We started work immediately the day after I met Martel. Everything went great and on time, and we finished in 6 weeks.
In the front reception room, Mustafa restored the original Victorian features. But what about the big surprise? Well, Mustafa has changed the layout by converting the large bathroom into a third bedroom.
Immediately, I know I'm going to do this because it was a big bathroom. It wasn't a pleasant bathroom as well. So I thought immediately this is going to be a bedroom and they're going to find somewhere else to put the bathroom.
And Mustafa found a place for the new shower room by taking some space from the main bedroom at the front. The main bedroom is still spacious and bright, but there is still a bit of work to do.
There is a small damp appeared. I need to investigate and rectify.
The bedroom to the rear has also been freshened up. But what about those large cracks? Did Mustafa manage to get to the bottom of any issues here?
We had a look at them and we had structural engineer had a look at them. It is nothing serious, it's all the movement. So we just put some more ties and we filled it and everything's back to as you can see it now.
It's been quite the transformation in only 6 weeks, and Mustafa and his team have clearly been working flat out.
In regard to the kitchen was in a very bad state. Ceiling was wet and the kitchen was not in good condition. So we removed everything and we fit the kitchen, bought the appliances, and the kitchen now is complete.
The damp here was due to a leak which was easily fixed, but has it all been plain sailing for Mustafa and his team?
When we went to the cellar was packed with rubbish, rotten stuff. We had about 7 skips just for the rubbish. This has cost a lot of money and time and effort, but the cellar is clear and nice and tidy. In the past few years, I've done many projects. I met many very nice people, but the people, the neighbors, and this particular street in Walton, they are the best. They were offering food, drinks to the lads, and I just want to say to them, all of them, thank you.
So with the neighbours keeping everyone fuelled, Mustafa was able to complete the work on time. But was he able to stick to his original budget of 12 to 15,000?
So I think we hit just above the £18,000. So we are above budget by like £3,000 something. My plan to the property is to rent it out and to remortgage it and get some money and move to another project.
But what does a local estate agent think of the work carried out? We invited the agent who saw it last time to get their thoughts and, of course, those important valuations.
I'm really impressed with the quality of the refurbishment of this house. The change in layout is fabulous. We've let and sold many properties in this area. I've not seen a layout like this, the way that the third bedroom's been added where the bathroom was, taken the chance of a small bit off the main bedroom and added that bathroom. It's done to a really good standard.
Mustafa's creative thinking with the layout has clearly improved the property. But he has spent a total of £86,000 here, so has it been a sensible investment?
Due to the quality of the property, I would suggest an asking price on the sales market of £130,000.
Actually, this is a very good price. I didn't expect that.
That would be a pre-tax profit of £44,000. Not bad for 6 weeks of hard work. But Mustafa has always planned to rent this property out, so what sort of figures could he expect?
Because of the quality of the property, I would suggest slightly above the average in the area, with an asking price on the rental market of £700 per calendar month.
£700 figure is still good rent, but we managed to rent it out higher.
Mustafa has managed to find a tenant and agreed a rent of £750 per calendar month, which is an impressive yield of just over 10%. So, all in all, this has been a successful renovation for Mustafa. He will now be looking to move on to his next project, but does he have any plans to relax before then?
We are planning to go on holiday, me and my wife Gian, in the next couple of weeks, driving through Europe. We may reach Turkey, depends on how it goes, and we are very looking forward to it.
So, did any of today's projects resonate with you? Are you willing to take on one of your own, maybe?
Don't worry, we're here to tickle your fancy with plenty more auction stories next time here on Homes Under the Hammer.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Well, next on BBC One, whatever the weather, we go bargain hunting.
Parents, we get it. Leaving the house.
Go, go, go!
Brushing your teeth.
Come back here and clean your teeth, young lady!